My 3.1k Glacier feels invalid after seeing many people doing 4k with Necrocamp. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. What's up, Jelly? Like Milkman Flint, 200 mil X. Dude, yeah. Like the 200 mil Necro people are the 120 Necro people, and then they only have 70s and other combat Iron Man. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. You guys are hitting it right on the head. It just feels double digit in people that only. It's only lazy double digit in people that only Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I mean. If now, if you come to me and you're like, hey, Necro is my favorite combat style. I think it's the most fun. I enjoy using Threads of Fate and then using Deathmark and then fucking blowing everything up. I get that. I love using Death Skulls and seeing the animation fly. I like the animations of the summons. Like, I get it if you like it thematically, and I don't dog you. Like, I'm not gonna dog people for fucking liking the aspect of the game that they enjoy. I'm dogging the motherfuckers who just use it as a crutch that do all the other shit. That's what I'm talking about. That's 100% what I'm talking about. Because it's just overtuned. They have to rebalance it in some capacity. And when I say rebalance, like Necro's here, I would say they need to bring everything else up to here. That's it. Make it compatible. Make it competitive. Don't nerf it. Never. It's just like Diablo. You don't want like RuneScape's slowly turning into one of those like power fantasy games, which is awesome, but it just needs to just raise it a little bit. Raise everything else a little bit. They raised everything a little bit when they raised the damage cap to 30k. Instead of stopping it at 15. Players want to be stronger, not weaker. Exactly. So you've already set the bar of where you could be with everything else with Necro. Just push everything else a little bit higher. Match it. Yeah, exactly. If something is so much stronger than overtune the other shit. Yeah. So like you could have kept that Magma Tempest crits. You could have kept that however Greco was before it was nerfed. You could keep all those other things. And then what you'd have to do, you'd have to rebalance everything at the leveling process too, because Necro is just fucking blowing through everything else. Because like the way you increase Necro is per level. Like 70, 80, 90, or like from 30, 40, 50, 60. It just goes that way. But if you're doing fletching, I'm the ranger in my Iron Man group right now, right? I only use ranged, right? I can't get my tier 60 bow because it requires 90 fucking fletching. Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm not gonna do that shit. I won't want to do that, but I'm doing it because I need the thing. Or if I want a tier 70 bow, I gotta camp Carols. I gotta go do Hunter for a lizard. Now you can just do Lutinous events to get black lizards. Then you gotta camp Tar. Or you gotta do Saradomin. It's shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just like they gotta rebalance and revisit some of these things. So the background footage is just pretty much me just doing stuff in the game, working on Final Boss. But really, I want to talk about the problem with Necromancy because I really do believe that a lot of people don't appreciate the rest of the game. Because Necromancy really trivialized a ton of content. Because it's so strong, you miss a lot of mechanics. You have insane survivability. There is no incentive for people who've only spec'd or like invested into Necromancy to do different combat styles. There's no reason to try different combat styles for the majority of the player base. And for most people, it's not their fault, right? Because it is a combat style that is introduced to you like straight on. It's like literally introduced to you in Draenor, one of the first places you go to in the game. So of course, if you're brand new to the game or you're returning to the game, naturally your curiosity is going to take over and you're going to want to check it out, just like everybody else. Or you're just going to spec into it because you understand or you have been told that it is the easiest thing to get into. It is the easiest thing to start with. And do I disagree with that? No. It is absolutely great for players who are starting the game. I have friends who have just picked up the game and it's their very first style because a lot of the other combat styles are one, difficult to get into first and foremost, hard to get into for the sake of requirements. It's a huge time sink, and Necromancy kind of irons out the rest of your account. You have to go train divination, smithing, you have to do some quests, you have to do a bunch of other stuff that kind of gets you into a solid space for your account. but then it really leaves you neglected for the other things that you could be working on, right? So, as compared to like myself in the example I provided, like using ranged, right? I want to just do ranged. I just want to range, bro. But now I gotta get 90 fletching for something, or do an obscure giant quest line to unlock a whole bunch of other stuff, or like train agility for 9 hours to get 70 to get to Saradomin. It's insane and it's absurd, and it's very tempting to just leave my desired playthrough and go for Necromancy because it's quote-unquote easy escape. Again, I will not hate people or dislike that you want to use it because you genuinely enjoy the combat style. There's cool stuff about it. I play Necromancers in other games because who doesn't want to raise an undead army to beat the shit out of somebody you're killing? That's what I'm saying. But bro, sometimes when you see people who are going for PBs and doing a whole bunch of shit and all you see is Necromancy, bro, it is dry. It's dry content. It's dry to watch. It's not enjoyable to like only see Necromancy. Every single thing you see on YouTube, low effort low effort this, low effort that, low effort this and that, right? All it is Necromancy. How to get your first easy kill with Necromancy. Blah, 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 blah. I'm all for people using it to get in the content, to try it for the first time. But dude, you gotta peel yourself away from it and try other things, because there's a lot of cool stuff you can do in this game. You ever got a 5 reset bleed with the new T95 weapons and you smack 7k 10ks for 10 in a row, dude? It is insane. The dopamine hit that you get from that is nuts. Ever done an overpower with the Zuck cape with a T100 sword and smack 60k damage in a single tick? No, but you've probably volleyed a soul and hit that 5 stack. Yippee, bro. I'm happy for. Another thing that kind of is just insane. I'm just ranting at this point. The crazy thing is, like, the whole time I've been talking to you guys, I'm not even looking at the screen that I'm AFKing Raziel with, because that's how strong this thing is. I'm literally milking billions of GP doing this. Again, you gotta buff everything else around it, because there's no point in nerfing it now. You've already introduced the player base to something that's incredibly strong. You can't nerf the rest of it because it's not fun. It's not fun. Really hope they revisit this at some point and try to like level out the rest of it. They literally had to, though. That's why they raised the hit cap to 30, and that's why they buffed everything else to try and match the nightmare that is Necro, right? Sure, it bumped everybody's kill times up and everything, but it really limits that skill expression. And I love seeing really, really talented people do some really neat stuff using different combat styles. That's all I'm saying, right? Branch out. Try something else, please.